music.
Well, hello, good morning, and thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us once again in a show, A Walk in My Shoes. This is Dan Vasquez, and I'm just so happy that you are taking time of your day to join us in this another episode of A Walk in My Shoes. And today we have a CEO of the Wave, this nonprofit organization established here in Columbus, Ohio, the one and only Danny Ortiz. I've had the privilege to know Danny for a number of years, and I just want to say thank you so much, Danny, for coming in the show today.
Man, Dan, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here with you, hanging out with you folks, and I'm just excited. Thank you for the opportunity, and let's see what we can do to help.
All right. Well, we thank you for being here. So Danny, you're originally from, is it the Bronx?
South Bronx, New York. I'm from the of hip hop, so I was raised in the era of the birthplace of hip hop, and I grew up in the South Bronx, Webster Avenue, uh, until I went to seminary school or college when I was 17 years old. So spend all my young days not in a good place, sometimes in the bad places, but it was fun growing up there.
That's amazing. And then you moved to Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, well, I was in Florida first, did
Okay.
seminary school in Florida, and then I started traveling the country as a public speaker, and then I came here to speak in Columbus, Ohio. And when I came to speak in Columbus, Ohio, 22 years ago, I met this wonderful young lady named Debbie, and 10 months later we were married. We celebrated our 21st anniversary this last month. So
Oh my
we've
goodness,
been married 21 years.
congratulations. Wow,
Thank you,
21
thank
years
you.
now. That's
21
amazing.
years.
That's
Been a little
amazing.
while.
Yeah, wow. That's great. Danny, um, so Columbus, Ohio now after 20 some years, you could say this is home now, right?
This is home. This is home. I love Columbus. I love the fact that we have a little bit of everything. I love the fact that I can go from downtown to the suburbs to Aglen Road, and it gives you everything. And now I really love it now because being a there's a lot more vegan spots here than it used to be. So I love the way it's growing. I love the way the Short North is growing.
Yeah.
Got a lot of friends in the Short North. A lot of people that we hang out with in that area. So pretty cool.
So, Danny, there is a lot of people that are new to the Wave or they're not aware of the Wave. Could you tell us a little bit about the Wave and what the Wave does?
Absolutely. We help people grow holistically. Our big motto is how to help somebody grow spirit, soul, and body. And we do that through experiences, education, and empowerment. And so our whole thing is how do we help you grow in your business aspect? How do we help you holistically, spiritually, and body? Now we huge on like the physical body, like what you put inside of you. What you put in is what you're going to put out. So I just played ball with some young boys yesterday and ran around in circles. And when they figure out old guy like me can run around in circles, they ask why. That it's all about. So for me, ever since I was a kid, I had this hunger to help people grow. As I got older, I got to meet professional athletes, all kinds of folks that were in these journeys. And I'm like, why not create a space where that we can help everyone grow in all those spaces, in business, spiritual growth, because if any one of those parts of you are not right, then you're out of balance. And what I find a lot of people when I talk to some folks are good in one area and not good in the other two areas.
Yeah.
And I found that people are out of balance in life, and so they almost always hitting a wall. You know what I mean? They get excited for a second and they come down. So what we try people out and let them grow in all areas of life together, and as they grow, they become more effective to help other people. And so that's really what we're about. And so we give folks experiences where we either take you to another country. I like taking a lot of young people to a lot of countries. We give you experience. We have a co-working space that we own here in Columbus where we bring all the young talent, all the young minds that come from Ohio State, Ohio Dominican, Columbus State. They come and they join and they're just growing together in the intellect, in their genius, creating product, creating tech. And so they come together. So we huge on the tech area, we huge on the spirit area, we huge on just seeing people grow.
That's amazing. It seems like you guys are staying busy, doing a lot of good out there for our community. Danny, what led you to this profession? How did you end up here as the CEO of a nonprofit organization?
So I said, it found me, I didn't find it. And I'm gonna say it this way, and hopefully this can help one of these young people. I speak a lot. I was speaking at the college last November, so I do a lot of college speaking. I do a lot. I spoke at Ohio State Business School, Fisher Business School. 3,000. I was speaking last. Mayor Coleman back in the days. I worked for them for 4 years. And as I was pastoring, I'm also working, leading a program for the city. And I found one of my good friends, or my best friend now, Michael, and basically we just got together. And he's like, and it was all his. This is his brain trust. This is his brainchild. He's like, man, I want to do this, and I want you to partner up with me. And so I thank God for him, because again, I didn't know I had passion to give. I've been over the last 12 years, over $2-3 million away. You know what I
Oh,
mean? And
wow.
but I didn't know that I was going to be passionate and help people grow. And I didn't know that I was going to be part of a venture group. So not only am I CEO of the Wave, but I also 22 Ventures. I own that with Michael. You know, I didn't know none of that was going to happen. It just all started finding me. And the more it started finding me, the more I started to get excited. Like, I can help people grow better because I've learned this. I can help people grow better because I learned that. So it found me, and it's literally my passion. Is I live and breathe this every single day. What else can we do on earth to help somebody else grow? And really, that's what happened. I didn't find it. I didn't go search for it. I just thought straight out of college that I was just going to be a traveling speaker all over the world. And so I literally got tired of doing that. So I started programs in the city, running the youth program that the Mayor Coleman had me run. And after that, uh, met Mike, and it is what it is. It found me. So I literally fell into it. I'm grateful every day for Mike and Nakia for allowing the opportunity that I stepped into. And then, several years ago, he comes up to me and says, man, this is all yours. I'm handing this over to you, and you're the man to run it. And so, again, it found me, and I find it a blessing to do. I'm helping to help a lot of people.
That's amazing. So I've known you for a number of years, and I know that uh, for you, youth has been a very important part of your desire to serve. Why youth? Why do you focus on the youth?
Because I was a statistic. So I grew up in the South Bronx. I was carrying a gun at 11 years old. Many people even ask me as an entrepreneur. So I do a lot of entrepreneurship talks. Again, because our venture firm, we've had several businesses. I have businesses fail and businesses succeed. And so people tell me as an entrepreneur, where did I start? Well, I started at 11 years old, delivering newspaper in Harlem, carrying a gun. And so since I was a statistic, my mom raised 8 kids on her own in the South Bronx, 5 boys, 3 girls. And everything in my life could have been barriers for me to not be successful, right? So I had barriers, right? Single parent home, check that box. Section 8, check that box. Public assistance, check that box. Person of color, check that box, right? So every box that you would think an inner city kid can check, I checked. You know what I mean? And so if I'm able then to be a CEO of a company than any other young person can, right? And so what I tell young people and why young people is because I was them, I was the statistic, and if it happened to I've been to over 30 countries. If a Bronx kid been to over 30 countries, last year alone, I spoke to 9 presidents out of my own mouth, literally one to one. I have videos where I'm literally interviewing and talking to presidents and helping economies in other countries, right? And so if that can happen to a Bronx kid, it can happen to anybody. And so why young people? Because I stand and tell them I am the proof, right? That you decide you, right? That your environment doesn't decide you, that your parents don't decide you, that things that are barriers don't decide you. You decide where you go. A lot of people sit in the parking lot of South Philly. Stay there. I say,
Yeah.
man, listen, put that car and drive and see where that road's gonna take you. And so why young people? Because I was you, and if I became whatever anybody will call me to become, right? If I'm the one that schools and districts and people call me for answers to solve problems. That's what entrepreneurs are. We just problem solvers. If I'm an entrepreneur and I'm able to live this life, you can live this life because there's no respect to a person. And all you got to do is believe in yourself and believe in the process, embrace the process, grow every single day. And again, that's why I love young people because I know what it is to be that kid in the South Bronx, where hip hop was not what it is today back then. Hip hop was just like me and my friends. We were in that group where hip hop was just first started. We just wanted a voice. I tell young people all the
Yeah.
time, you know why hip hop started? Because we just wanted a voice. We were a whole bunch of black and Puerto Rican kids in a city that was segregated between those in power and those that didn't have power, and we just wanted a voice. And hip hop became our voice.
That's amazing. Now, Danny, I did a little bit of research on you before the interview, and I found your LinkedIn account, and something caught my attention. In your description, you were described as a encourager, an encourager. What does
Exactly.
that mean?
Man, listen, I believe that our voice was given by Almighty God to be an encouragement to someone else. And I think one or two things.
Okay. That's amazing. I love that. I love that, especially for the young people today and in our generation as a whole. With the year that we have had, I think what people need the most is encouragement right now. So we need people like you out there, giving hope to people. And I just appreciate you for what you're doing. So now let's get into the entrepreneurial side of you. You have had experience starting businesses, and you said it a little bit. Some of these businesses have grown, some of these businesses didn't. What are some of your advice for a young person that say, "Hey, I wasn't born to work for somebody else. I want to be my own boss. I want to control my time, and I want to do something. I want to be a difference." What advice would you give them to get started? How to start a business?
I don't know what old folks say this, but I remember this quote. You can learn from a wise man learns from his mistakes. A wiser man learns from others' mistakes. And so you want to be a wise man and surround yourself with people that are a lot smarter than you and never be the smartest person in the room. Always be the most humble to learn from everyone that's around you because as you learn is as you grow. And again, it's a journey. And so entrepreneurship is a journey. And once you have that entrepreneurship bug, it's never going to leave you. Like me, I have the bug, it's not going to leave me. So I'm always thinking of new ideas, new ways. And so so how to start, you know, points are looking at how to solve problems. So really all an entrepreneur does is solve problems that are on the earth. And I would talk to any young person. There are problems out there that you alone are the only one that's supposed to solve it. And then entrepreneurship is not becoming rich. Entrepreneurship is not about having money. Entrepreneurship is about taking whatever you've been designed to do, the gift that's been given. All of us have been given us gifts and talents. So whatever that is that you've been given, once you find out who you are, then serve the world. And that's
Come
really
on. I
entrepreneurship.
like that.
Entrepreneurship is finding out your identity and then in your identity, serving your identity to the world. So me, because I'm an encourager, I know who I am as a son. Um, I know that I know who I am, so I now take that and serve people in it. And so with us, like one of the companies that we have built, that we put $1 million into structure but it failed. And I like to talk about it. It's a company that I own called Immersive. Immersive is a technology company. Why? Because I was part of a venture group in California and third with digital, and we wanted to bring more tech to Columbus. And so to bring more tech, we started this company called Immersive that focused on doing immersive technology, which was AR, virtual reality, augmented reality. And so we had a team, we had it all, we had a building, and we thought we were going to run out. And 2 years later, after $1 million later, we found out that the technology is not all there.
Wow.
The consumer is not wanting to wear these big goggles, you know what I mean, the Oculus everywhere, and it was just right out. But the reason that we really got into this is we wanted to help people. And one of the first projects that we did was help the medical field. I remember the mother that we used. There was a mother that had a baby, and that was an epileptic. So she didn't know what our baby went through as an epilepsy. So we were able to design a virtual reality room where she was able to get an epileptic seizure, and she was able to feel how her baby felt.
Wow.
And when we put it in there, she just began to start tearing up and crying. And when I saw that, I said, that's why we did this company. We didn't do this company to make money. We did this company to that one woman. If that was the only project we ever did, this woman now felt and saw what her child went through,
Wow.
then we were successful.
Wow. That's amazing.
So there's a lot in going, there's a lot, if somebody's writing notes, there's a lot, and there's a process that I go through in company design, right? So you have to discover, right? I call it the D's, right? Discover what problem are we solving? Define, right? Am I a product-based company or a service-based company? And I can help you do that to figure out, am I a product, what's the difference between a product-based company and service? Services am I selling food, right? Do I have a cleaning company? Those are service based. A product is, am I selling a t-shirt, right? Those are two different ways of looking at your company, and you have to define that.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Danny, have you written a book? But you are in the process of it. I hope. Danny, what do you think is your unique skill that has helped you become successful? Okay. That's an important one. Oh, that's good. That's good. I like that. Awesome. So, when you were getting started, what do you wish you had known when you started out? Uh-huh. Right. Yes, that's good. All right, Danny, we're going to go in another section of the interview. These are some quick questions, okay? So I'm going to be asking you some quick questions, and you just answer them um, how they come. Okay, get ready for this. If you need to stretch, I know you're working, you like to work out and everything. Okay, what is your favorite food? What is your favorite food? Arroz con bichuelas. Awesome, awesome. What are you not very good at? Okay, if you could have one superpower, what would it be? Okay. I like that. I would take that one too. If you were a type of food, what type of food would you be?
If I was a type of food, that's a great question. I'm stumpy, so papaya.
Papaya. That's fruit. That's good. I like that. I like that. All right. Um, you're a sports guy. Bengals or Browns?
Neither Giants.
You're from Chicago. I mean, from New York. That makes sense. If you could switch lives, that's right, New Yorker. If you could switch lives with someone for a day, who would you choose?
Mark Cuban, easy. Mark Cuban.
Awesome, awesome. Those are great questions.
Right now would be Mark Cuban, yes.
All right, Danny, what motivates you?
What motivates me? Every morning that I wake up, of course, it goes my faith. Number one, my faith. But what motivates me on earth is seeing my wife's face every day and my three daughters. That's all I need.
So you got three.
My wife, and I can pray. My faith, my wife, and my three daughters.
You got three girls, right? No boys.
Yep. The boys. But I
What?
don't have nephews, so I do not adopt a son. You know, my nephew's my adopted son. So I raised him, and you know, David. So I'm just
Yes.
trying to protect my boys.
And now he's how tall is he now?
He's a big boy, 6'4", 320 pounds.
320 pounds. Is he going for football?
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. And what are the ages of your girls?
18, 15,
Ooh,
and 12.
wow. They're in that age. They're in that age.
You know what? All I know how to do is say yes.
That's good. That's good. Well, going back to the business side, what are some of your greatest rewards? What are some of the things that you say, okay, yeah, this was great. This is why I do this.
Business, I think I told that story earlier. Another one is able to employ people. You know what I mean? I think one of the greatest gifts that we can have as entrepreneurs or CEOs is to give somebody a job. There's no greater gift to that. You know what I mean? And if we can give people work and a way for them to make a living to support their family, I think there's no greater reward in business than that. And so, you know, money doesn't flow to you, it flows through you.
Mm.
And you have to always remember that. Finances is a tool for you to use, not for you to gain. And if you can really have that mindset as a young person to understand that it's not for you to have ice, do I have ice? I love my Rolex watch, right? And it's real and it's mine, right? That a bank doesn't own it, right? So you
Yeah.
can have all the ice and all the cars you want. That's not what money's for. Money is to help other people.
Mm.
That's the bottom line.
Okay, so in our program, in our AMP program in particular, this is one of the things we do is job readiness. What would be your advice for a young person who does not have a lot of experience in a work? What defines a good employer? Now, a good employee. You are an employer. You've employed a lot of people in the past. What is your advice to become a good employee?
Well, number one, I would say intern somewhere. Serve without getting paid to serve. So find an interest that you love. If you want to be a producer, find a studio and tell them I'll clean the floors. Right? Because the best way of learning is getting around folks that literally that you want to do what they do. Find a person that you want to do it and serve them and say, dude, what can I do to help you? You don't have to pay me money. I just want to get paid with knowledge. Right? And tell them every week, if I can sit with you for an hour, I'll do whatever you need me to do for 20 hours a week. Right? Because there's nothing like on the job experience. And a lot of times people want it, I want to make that money, I want to make that paper right now. And sometimes, especially this climate, you are competing jobs with adults that don't have jobs. You know? And so, intern, find something. And so, what makes a great employee? Number one, I said it earlier, humility, to be teachable, to be self-sufficient, right? And to be proactive. So that means that no one's holding your hand. And that means that if you think that, if you think that doing this makes it better, then the company better, right? And I'd rather somebody fail their way to success than don't try at all. And so let's say you did it and it didn't work out. At least you did something, right? At least you don't have
Yeah.
to. I think one of the first things that we can do as employees is like, oh man, I wish that you would take initiative, right? Take initiative is something. Take some risk. The given the risk is giving you reward, right? But if you took the risk and you failed, you learn from that experience, right? And you grow from that experience.
So we come across this word a lot. The word learner, learner. What is a learner?
A learner is a sponge. So think of a sponge. This is the best way I know how to put it. Think of a sponge. If you take a white sponge, let's say the sponge is white, and you take purple juice, and you have it there, and you take that sponge, and you blow that sponge in that purple juice, when you get out, not only will that white sponge be purple, it'll be dripping and oozing
Yeah.
with the juice. That is what is a learner. A learner is one that consumes, 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 consumes. Don't stop consuming. Don't stop reading. You know what I mean? And start giving, 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 giving. I mean, there's several books that I have right here that people can read, like the master and autopilot habits, the 7 habits of a highly effective team. Books are great. You have another book by Simon Sinek called Leaders Eat Last. I read at least 2 books a month. Right now, I'm reading a book right now called The Unshakable Kingdom and The Unchangeable Person. Reading, consuming, always learning, always learning. Never stop learning. I take my time when I get up in the morning, I do meditation, I do my prayers, I work out, I do my study, and I read. I read all kinds of stuff. And so I read on my iPhone right now. You see, there's a section on my iPhone
Uh
that
huh.
has just newspapers from all over the world. So I know what's happening in Europe, I know what's happening in Asia, I know what's happening in the United States. So just consuming, consuming, consuming.
So reading is an important part of this, huh? Uh,
Huge.
you said you're reading two books a month. That's amazing. What are some of the best books you would recommend for a young person today?
Oh man, I'm going to give you, you write this down. So, Get to Great Business. If you want a business book, Get to Great. Wiz to Last. Richard Collins is the first one. Jim Collins is the first one. Simon Sinek is the second one. Leaders Eat Last. That's a good business. Right now, for the social unrest, 2 books that you want to read for the social unrest. One's called The Color of Law. The
Wow.
Color of Law. And the second one is by Martin Luther King Jr., which is the last book, which I just read, which is incredible. It's called Where Do We Go from Here? Chaos or Community. Where do we go from here? Chaos or Community. It's a great, incredible book that you want to do in the social unrest. If you want spiritual growth, these are 2 old books from Martin King. One is a 150-year book called In the Secret of His Presence by a guy named G.H. Snyder that will bless your socks off. And another one's by another great guy called The Knowledge of the Holy by A.W. Tozer. So those are 6 different books in different categories of time. Remember, I read books in different places, different categories, right?
Yeah.
And so for the social unrest right now, the color of law, another one would be The Myth of Race, would be an incredible book to just dive into in this climate, so that you really can grow and learn. But if you don't read any one of those about the racial thing, read Martin Luther King Jr. last book. Where we go from here, chaos or community will bless you and will help you in this climate.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. We'll look those up. And Danny, going back to a CEO, what are some of the biggest challenges you face as a CEO?
But the CEO of a nonprofit, I'm gonna be honest with you, the number one challenge of a nonprofit CEO, which is different than a for-profit. So I'm gonna give you both challenges. Nonprofit CEO will be always helping enough people, number one, and number two, always facing finances, right? Because a
Yeah.
nonprofit raises funds every year so that they can be operational. For the nonprofit, for the for-profit, it's always going to be how are my, I'm always about people. So
Awesome, awesome. That's good. I like that. Who are some of the people that inspire you when you were getting started? Is there any family member or somebody that you met or anybody that was a great inspiration for you?
Well, the number one that inspired me was my best friend Michael. Mike inspired me just with his passion to help and love people. Number one inspiration in my life that really inspired me. Another guy that his name is Steve Wolf from California. His turn is the whole business side, so he's one that really helped me grow and learn some stuff. There's so many guys that I learned and gleaned stuff from. But those are the two guys that come to mind right away um, that helped me out.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's always good to have people around you that inspires you. And I think one important thing is that we never get to where we are, alone. And a lot of young people think that they have to do it by themselves and that they have to do it alone. But you don't have to do it alone. uh, there are people around you, and you just have to open up and reach out. I found in what I do that a lot of times my problem is something that is big for me is easy for somebody else, and I just have to make it known. And so all the time I'm talking about my problems. Hey, look at that! I'm having a problem with this, and somebody else hears it, and then they take care of it. So
Yeah.
relationships are
It's
important.
not only, you said a problem because not only that it's hard to do it alone, you can't do it alone.
Yeah,
I'm gonna use that word. You can't. It's
I
almost
like
like
that.
if you ever say that word. You cannot do it by yourself. You think you can do it, but you cannot do it alone. You would not be able to be the success that you need to be unless you have the unit and the foundation that you need around you. And it's all and I'm gonna say this, it always starts home. The foundation starts home. If your home unit is not good, you work on that. Like don't try to be a successful CEO. Try to be a successful son, a successful daughter. You know what I mean? You can't be a CEO if you're not willing to get off the track. You can't be a CEO if you're not willing to play and win. You can't be a great CEO if you're not willing to be your best. I mean, those are the things that make, like I tell folks all the time, what makes me great is what I do at home. That's what makes me the greatest. Greatness is not something to be achieved. Greatness is something to be walked out every single day. I'm gonna say it again. Greatness is not something that you achieve. It's something that I walk out every day. You want to be great. You're great when you make your bed in the morning. Because you start your mind already accomplished with a task. You accomplish the task of making your bed. You really when you wake up with a mindset like I'm gonna help every morning that I get up. I get up to do my spiritual time, then I get up and I help my kids because my kids get ready for school. And some are online schools that go. I mean, then I go and work out. Then I go do things. But I'm making sure that everything here is well because this is my foundation, and I do it to the utmost excellence.
Wow, wow, that's so good. That's so good. So we've talked about the relationship aspect of what we do, having other people around. Can you give any tips to us and to young people how to foster and develop relationships with people in the business world or in
So
life?
so now what we talking about earlier, relational intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Relational intelligence lets you understand that some people are going to be for now, some people are going to be for later, and some people are going to be forever. Some people are going to be for now, some people are going to be for later, and some people are going to be forever.
Okay.
It's understanding the categories of people as we get to grow with them, right? And it's never shutting the door on anybody, right? So how to become relational with somebody is if you can't want somebody to be friendly with you, you're not friendly with them, right? And This is going to be different, right?
Yeah.
This other person, it's going to be transactional period where they give and I give, they give and I give, and I'm cool with that. I'm gonna put that in my catalog. This person, they tell me they love me, and they love me with a love that's not like sacrificial love. They love me with the right kind of love, right? This other person loves me, they my road dog. They will sacrifice their life, and I'll sacrifice. So it's understanding how to put people in their categories and not shutting the door. I think we so easily dismiss people today where you don't know what somebody else is going through, right? So empathy is a real big part of friendship, right? Being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes
Yeah.
takes you a long way in friendship, right? Because eventually, now you don't know why they cussed you out that day. They may have had, they may have had an uncle die. Like, you don't know what's going on. Don't shut the door right away and say, well, you cussed that, they don't cuss at you, blah, 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 and then you say things that you can't take back, and then you just become a whole mess. Instead of just, and I'll say this one real key that I try to teach my daughters in relationships. Don't react, respond. I'm gonna say it again. Don't react. What do I mean by that? A young person comes up to me and smacks me in my face. If a 17-year-old comes and smacks me in my face, my reaction will be to smack them back.
Right.
But as a grown adult, I have to respond. And I see respond makes you think. And I'm like, if I hit this kid with all my might, I might kill him. And if I kill this kid, people in my family will be upset. I'm gonna respond and think this be like, do I even want to hit him? If I hit him, he may be able to sue me. Then I can something, right? Then if I kill him, then I lose my family's jail. Is all this worth it? Or do I want to find out why the kid smacked me in the first place and why you got that anger? See, all that takes a response for you to think before you just right, oh, he hit me, I'm hit him like that. No, don't be reactive. We have a generation that reacts to everything. Like, oh, yeah. You're so fast, I'm gonna get you. I mean, sometimes you gotta sit on some things and give it a thought and think through things and say, how do I respond? Man, that's so hard to stay together.
That's powerful. That's powerful, and it's so needed today because we are so prone to easily, react to whatever comes our way, and we don't take the time to understand and to comprehend what's really going on, what is really, really happening. Wow, that is very
To
good.
that point, I said to that point, that's what we have the trouble with social media that we have, right? That's what once you put it out there, you can't take it back.
Right.
And I tell the person, listen, if you really want to say something and it's not good, say it to yourself, say it to the three people, and after you say it to the three people, if they say it's all good, say it, then you put it out, right? You say, oh man, this person's calling me this, I'm calling that. But when it's out there, you can't take it back. And one of the things young people need to understand, every your life, when you put it online, is not only available to your friends, but it's available to every potential employer that you're going to have for the rest of your life. And they want to see your life, and they want to see how you live your life. And they have access to you. And when they have access to you, they're like, oh, this guy parties every day, he got drinking every day. I don't know if I'm going to, trust him with a big machinery that's going to cost him
Right.
$100,000 a week. But that machinery costs me $2 million, right? And so we have to think through things when we do them, especially when it comes online.
So, do you mean to tell me? Do you check people's uh, social media before you hire them?
Absolutely. And my wife also hires people. So my wife works in the corporate office in Harlem, and she does a lot of hiring. And we both talk about this a lot because we do. I do. Of course. I mean, I have to know what you're about.
Yeah.
And so even though I'm not personally on social media, the way it is, but I have folks that look through it and say, I want to find out everything about this person. And all I gotta do is look at Instagram, all I gotta look at is TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, and I'm gonna find out how the person is.
That's great. That's great. I want to tell all of the people that are watching, if you have any questions for Mr. Danny Ortiz, this is a great time for you to start submitting your questions. If you're watching in Zoom, if you're watching on Facebook, we have people watching these platforms, and you can go ahead and submit questions. Go ahead and start sending them in, and I'll get them in, and then I'll make sure I'll send them here to Danny. Danny, what is some of the stories that you have with your experience at work and things like that? Are there any good stories you have for us?
Oh, man, there's a lot of great stories. Let me see some goodies. Uh, I'm trying to do this. Uh, we can go good, bad, and ugly, right? Let me just go good. Let me go good. Let me go a great story of a young man, and I don't even do stories about us. A young man, and most of you guys can look him up. Danny Ortiz. Manny's an incredible human being, incredible guy. I met him 3 years ago. I was speaking at OSU. They were doing an entrepreneurship thing in OSU, and I was speaking at that. And he got a hold of me and mentioned, and when he got a hold of me, I just like any other person, I was like, yo, let's meet up. He was like, hey, I enjoyed your talk. You know what I mean? Let's meet up. And I'm that person that I tell him to meet up. So I met up with Manny, and Manny was, at that time was in school trying to find his way, trying to find his heart, and he had these great ideas, and just started encouraging him and saying, Manny, why not do that now? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for to start your company? And so just started helping him through the whole conversation of starting his company, doing that. Well, 3 years later, Manny just came up, and I'm going to see the article here because I just got it. So Manny is now Manny Ortiz is his name. He's next up 2020. He just got an award for being one of the upcoming CEOs in our city.
Oh wow.
So he's the CEO of Startup Creative. They're a boutique studio that help people website design, all in the yards. And he's one of the bright spots of Columbus. And he's doing an incredible job. You know what I mean? And so all it started was a phone conversation 3 years ago when he heard me speak. But to see where he's at today and see how much he's grown, you know what I mean? It's incredible to see what he's done. He employs people. He's an amazing human being, and he's doing great things. I do a podcast with him on a weekly basis called Bigger Than Business. And I couldn't say any much more great about somebody like Manny Walter.
Tell us a little more about this podcast that you do. It's bigger than business.
So it's bigger than business. What we want to do, Manny is a lot younger, of course, from college, and I'm a lot older, so we come from two different worlds. And so what we do is bigger than business. Is we not only give business acumen and business, and we have conversations about some of the latest things that happen in business, but we also talk about real life. We talk about sports, we talk about life, we talk about growing, and we get into all kind of conversations. This last one we talked about Denver Startup Week, which is this week, you know what I mean? And what people don't know what even Startup Week is. They want to learn through that podcast with Startup Week, how they can get involved, different things like that. So it's a great podcast. It's called Bigger Than Business.
And how can we get a hold of it? How can we listen to it?
So ultimately, my podcast, there's three of them. One is called the Wave Podcast, one is called Holy Talk, and one is called Bigger Than Business. Anywhere that you get podcasts, Apple, Spotify, anywhere, all you got to do is put that title in, and it'll come up, and subscribe, and give us a 5 star. Okay?
It's bigger than business, right?
It's bigger than business.
Okay.
It's bigger than business. And
Okay.
you'll see.
I'll make sure we put that on our chat on Zoom, and we put it also in all the platforms people are listening, so that they can connect to that and get in.
I'll show you what it looks like. It looks like this. If you, I don't know if they can see, but
Okay.
it might
Yeah, they
look
can
like
see it.
bigger than business on Apple. Yeah, yeah.
Awesome, awesome, love that. We'll share that with our audience today. And here are some questions coming in, Danny. What would you suggest the first steps be for someone who's interested in starting a business but not sure what their passion is?
Again, I love that point you take what their passion because I would switch the word from passion to interest. Find out what your interests are before you can ever think about passion. Passion comes later. Find out what you're interested in right now because at your age you're able to explore different interests, right? And so if your interest is in fashion, that's going to be a different conversation. If your interest is in engineering, that's going to be a different conversation. And so you find out your interests first, right? What are you interested in? Like I
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's amazing. That would be awesome. I don't know if it exists or not, but that's a great idea. You know, I think that's one of the best advice you can give somebody, Danny. For someone to take some time, go into a room by yourself, lock the door, and really, really think about what you really, really want to do, what you really, really like, and then from then on, just come out and start doing it. But one of the big things is also get an exposure, right? You mentioned it earlier. Get an exposure to different things, and wow. I like that. So it's not passion is not something you look for. Some passion is something that finds you. I like that. I love that. Somebody needs to write that down, tweet that out, Facebook that out somewhere. So that's amazing. Danny, another question. With your experiences with other CEOs, is there a particular characteristic that you see with among CEOs? Yeah. 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 So you said something very interesting, and I think it's an interesting aspect. Can one learn to be a giver? Is that something that are we born with, or can we learn to be givers? That's great. I like that. Right.
Someone else's responsibility is someone else's fate. So me, I look at fate. I look at that tomorrow is really not promised to any one of us anyway. So if I can help this person out right now, I'm going to make sure I help them out.
Wow, wow, that's good. That's good. I like that. Well, Danny, we're coming to the end. But before we come to the end, is there anything else that you would like to tell a young person today? Any advice that you would want to share to them?
I would say this: wherever you are in life right now, is only the beginning. I'm gonna say it again: wherever you're at in life right now, you are only in the beginning. You have so much to live for, so much to be excited for. The future, so much. I know that surrounding around us with the social unrest,
Yeah.
with the economy, with COVID, I can see that stress can come and think there's no hope. No, listen, we're going to get through this COVID. Uh, uh, Hearts are going to be changed, and we're going to start loving one another again. And there is a hope and there is a future for your life. And so wherever you are right now, it's just the beginning. It's not the end. It's not the failure. It's just the beginning. And you have so much to live for. You have so much to do, and so much to do for yourself. And as you do for yourself, you can do for others. So number one thing to do is find out who you are for you, right? And then once you find out who you are for you, then you can give yourself away. But don't give yourself away unless you know what you're giving away.
Whew, that's great. I love that. I love that. Danny, this has been really really good, and I think for the young people that are watching it, they might need to replay this a couple of times to digest everything that was shared today because it was very good. So I really thank you, Danny, for taking your time and for coming on here on a walk in my shoes and telling us about your story, your experience, and all these awesome nuggets.
What an honor, a pleasure. I want to say thank you to you. Thank you for your team. Thank you for everyone that allowed this to happen. Again, and Robert, that I met only
His webbing. Yeah.
Joe, and everyone that's been involved. Thank you very much. Always an honor. Looking forward to helping more in the future. Let everybody meet you in Christ. I'm going to meet you in Christ.
Thank you so much, Danny. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. And thank you all in our audience. Thank you for walking in our shows today. We'll look forward to seeing you next week in same time, 1 p.m.